Hey guys, welcome to the SimRacingPaddock. I'm William Marsh, and we are going to be testing out what was one of my favorite mods for rFactor, and now the newest payware mod for Assetto Corsa, the DRM Revival mod. So this mod and a lot of the content is about 8 years or 7-8 years old now, and it was one of my favorite mods in the original rFactor. It had a great variety of cars and tracks, or cars, I should say, and then a lot of third-party tracks in rFactor 2 to drive it on, or rFactor 1. And now it's been ported over to Assetto Corsa. Note that this is a payware mod, and with it comes some changes. Now, they don't have any of the official company names because this was sold on the market, so you can't have, like, say, Ford, Porsche, and other manufacturer names. So now it is this is the Maraude Aero, but this in reality is the Ford Zackspeed Capri. So I am really excited to test this out. So to start off, we are going to take the Zackspeed Capri around Laguna Seca, one of my favorite combos in the original rFactor, and now can do it in Assetto Corsa. So this is available for 15 euros or roughly $20. Disclaimer, I paid for it myself. I was not given this. I actually paid for it. So yeah, I just wanted to get that out of the way. But I am so freaking excited to try this out. So we will take a look, see how this performs, and see where to go from there. Also, one thing I'm curious about is I just upgraded my internet. So I'm able to actually have a higher bit rate for streaming. So I'm curious if it'll look any higher quality for you guys. So hold on a sec. Capture specific window. Assetto Corsa. So let me know how the streaming quality looks. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on it. And yeah, so this is the Ford Zackspeed Capri, or the not Ford Capri. And this was my favorite car in the mod personally, but there are a few things I'm a little worried about. So apparently, one thing they did to all the cars is a rev limiter. So one of the hallmarks of the Ford Zackspeed Capri was you could rev it high, hear the engine scream, but it sounds a little off compared to the original mod. So let's take a look at this. So it sounds like it's revving a good maybe 1,000, or actually I don't think it's because of the rev limiter. I don't think it's the rev limiter. I think it's just the way Fmod handles the sounds or something, but the sound just doesn't sound as visceral. So I did get rid of the beard a little temporarily. So for those of you who know, I am a San Jose Sharks fan, and being a fan of the Sharks, it really is something where, like, we just entered the playoffs, so I'm trying out the playoff beard. So you shave at the end of the regular season. So at the end of regular season, you shave your beard, and then you grow it out as the playoffs go on, and then you have to grow it out until either your team wins the championship or is eliminated. So that's what I'm doing, and that's why I'm clean shaven. I have not been this clean shaven since May last year, so 11 months I haven't been clean shaven. And it was funny because the first day I'm like, wow, I actually feel the wind on my face. This is so weird. But yes, I am clean shaven. Or actually, I have 2 days stubble now. But yeah, so fun stuff. Gotta support my team somehow. Too bad I can't get Gamer Muscle to do a playoff beard, but I'm suspecting that the main reason he's a Penguins fan is because he just wants to mess with me. He's a bandwagoner, I tell ya. Stuart, how the heck could you notice or not notice I had a beard? So let's talk about this car. So this car it's a turbocharged 4-cylinder, I believe. And this thing, even for 4-cylinder, is bad fast. And you can see no assists make it a challenge. Note that the real car had an H-pattern gearbox. I'm using my Heusinkveld sequential because that's just what I have most easily accessible. But I am using the clutch. But if you look on the bottom, actually no, you can't see it. Hold on, let me adjust some dials. There we go. So you'll see on the RPM gauge, this thing has insane turbo lag. So watch the gauge above the SRP logo. And you can see some insane turbo lag. So that really does affect the way you drive the car, because when for turbo spool up, spool up, spool up, third gear you don't feel it nearly as much. But that turbo lag is... Oh wait, hold on a second. It's saying video output low for some reason. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. How's the stream looking for you guys? How is it looking? It's looking okay for me. Can someone tell me how the stream is looking for you? Stream is fine, okay. Yeah, I'm curious because I upgraded to gigabit internet, so I doubled my bandwidth, so I want to make sure it's working all right. I know, Dennis, I'm beardless this time. Hopefully it'll grow out quickly as the Sharks progress in playoffs. Yes, I'm doing playoff beard this time around. Not fine, it's stuttering. Okay, let me change it real quick. Let me adjust it real quick. Sorry about that. I was trying to experiment with the stream. Streaming, let's do 7,500. Apply. Okay, so I just changed the bit rate. So let's see how it looks for you guys. Let's see if it changes. Okay, let's see how that looks. Changed it all. Actually, okay, I dropped the bit rate to 7,500 kilobit per second. I should be getting like 40 up for my internet speed now, and then 1 gig down. So I'm happy with the new speed. I was able to download this mod in like 25 seconds. A gigabyte or 1.7 gigabyte in 25 seconds, that's not too bad. But yeah, I'm enjoying the feel of this car. And the sound is pretty good. I'm not sure if it's the gearing that just keeps me from getting the RPMs too high, but something in the sound just seems a little off, in my opinion. I mean, just like a hair off. But also, one thing I want to mention is there is boost control. So you can set the boost up or low. For almost all the cars, it comes at 90% in default. Am I going to be running a server? I might give it a try. I might try it out. But yeah, so let's try 30% boost, 1 lap around at 30 boost. Then I'm going to go all out. So 30% boost really, like, it tames down the car big time. You can see the boost meter is low. on the throttle. But this makes it a very tame car to drive. Not really stepping out too much. It's pretty conservative. Fun car. Good balance. But then when we turn up to 100 at this next lap, it's going to be a beast. But this, you really become aware it's a 4-cylinder car. So it does feel like a genuine 4-cylinder. But then when you activate those big honking turbos, it's insanity. But yeah, CB, thanks for joining in on the stream. Whoop. So we'll turn up to 100. But now you can just see a lot more speed off the bat. So that's a 144 at 30, but then also count that we just switched 100 before the line. But watch this performance out of the corner. It just pulls out of the corner. And then all that wheel spin now, it's just absolutely nuts. This performance really just adds a whole new level of challenge. The turbos will just rip the grip away from those tires. And I'm still not the fastest driver, I know that. But it's like, there's no denying that this is far more powerful. Yeah. Whoa. So at 100 boost, we're about 9 seconds faster, and we're not pushing too hard. It is that blow-off valve that's just missing, and I think that's a common trend in Assetto Corsa, like the engine. It just seems like a lot of cars are missing that blow-off valve, which, oh. And in the original rFactor version, those downshifts were so flipping violent. It sounded like a gun went off, and with the backfire. And it's just, it feels like the sounds in this version of the mod are a little safe, for lack of a better term. It just seems like you can't have that raw, visceral sound that you'd say get in Race Room. Hey, Crate, doing pretty well. How about yourself? I am kind of getting over the flu, or getting over a cold, maybe mini flu. My mom was sidelined with the flu for like 3 weeks, so it's like, I haven't been 100% for like a week or two. But you could just see, upping the boost to 100% is just insane. You can see it really brings out the performance of this engine. It makes the car that more likely to try to kill you. Cars like this make me wish I had the Heusinkveld H-shifter. Would be so fitting for this classic car. I need to review the sequential first, though. But heel and towing with this car is so much fun. Whew. A little oversteer there. This is the not Ford Zackspeed Capri. Yeah, it's a little upsetting how it's like, yeah, the cars, they aren't the official name, but with this being a payware mod, you can't use the actual name or likenesses. That's the tough part. But yeah, I want to switch to the, maybe it's, I think it's a Porsche 935. But one interesting thing I want to note, so usually you're not going to be doing this, but so one thing I like to do to test out for like the sound quality is start low and then hear how the sound samples mix. So this does a pretty good job. I mean, you can hear it's a different sound at idle, but then it blends well. It blends away well. It might be a little loud at low RPMs, but it sounds good. It sounds like they actually took care and time to mix it. In some of the other mods, you'll hear a distinct shift in the sound samples. But for this, it does a good job. And I don't know if it's mainly because of Fmod or is it because of the quality of the samples, but it sounds good. It doesn't sound like they just cobbled together sound samples. It sounds like they put care into it. But it's a little upsetting that the sound for this isn't as good as what I remembered in the first mod for rFactor 1. It just doesn't sound as raw or visceral, which is kind of upsetting, but it's still, this car's a lot of fun. So let's switch over to the next car. Hold on. What'd I hit? Did I hit F1? No, an accident. My batteries, or my G602 battery's at 5%. Got to spend a lot of time to get the sound ramping anything like good, yeah. That's what I'm saying. You had to blend the samples well together. So soon I'll need to replace the battery in my mouse. Okay. So let's go to DRM Revival. So we tested out the Murad Aero. And then Porsche, here we go. Or the not Porsche. So it's interesting because it looks like there are different configurations for the Porsche. So we have, it's the 1 hour and 3 hours. So I guess 3 hour is more oriented towards endurance races, like longer races, and then 1 hour is more for sprint. I'm guessing? I don't know off the top of my head. Pure Mad, I don't think they would be able to do that. Because the thing is, they don't have the licensed names for it. So, in theory, to use the names, to get the likenesses, you would need to contact each company and say, hey, we're making this content, we're going to sell it, we need permission to use your names. And that's the thing. So for the original rFactor mod, they were able to use the names because they were distributing it for free. It was non-profit. This is for profit. So for that, because they're selling it, they're not allowed to use the likenesses of Porsche, Ford, and I think there's now Chevy, and other manufacturers like that. I think that's why. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure. Where do you think I could get a good used Fanatic wheel and pedal set for cheap? Look on Craigslist. If you're in America, I should say. Look in secondhand marketplaces, because sometimes you will be able to find it. I found a Logitech G27 for $80, and I think it's like new condition. So, yeah. Somebody else could, but it would be tricky, like how to set it up, because you also don't want mismatches and stuff. So it's one thing to make a Porsche livery. It's one thing to do that. It's one other thing entirely to change the metadata for the car in the sim. That's one of the struggles. Okay, this does feel rear-wheel drive, definitely. Or not rear-wheel drive, rear-engined. So yeah, punch it, it breaks free. So this car requires a totally different mindset for driving now. And again, for it being this kind of car, you wish it would be more raw sounding. It just sounds a bit clinical, for lack of a better term. Yes, Watcher, I have heard that they started their Kickstarter and announced that they will be shipping in November. And I have mixed feelings about it. Whoops. So, I have mixed... I know I just got a bit distracted there, but I have mixed feelings about that Kickstarter right now. Because the more and more that I think back to when I was testing it, the more and more concerned I get. Because I'm driving with this OSW. Granted, it's very overpowered and it's about 3 times the cost of the Fuel VR. But also, there are just some things inherently in nature about direct drive wheels that we've come to grow associated with, such as the near bulletproof reliability. And I've heard more and more about failures in the press and the media days, the test days. I heard that a few days after I tested it, there was a test event, I think in Menlo Park, and the pedals failed. The pedals had an issue where I guess the load cell stopped working, and they had to use the clutch as the brake. And that's concerning. Because one of the things I liked about test drive was the brakes. And it wasn't nearly as technical, so I was hoping it wouldn't fail as often. But having that failure makes things concerning, and also with just how it goes. And sure, I was talking with someone in my Discord earlier today, and he was saying, hey, I'm really interested in the Feel VR, and I'm really I'm really finding that deal appetizing. But what are your thoughts? So he asked me my thoughts, and I say, well, what's your budget? And he says, let's just say $549 US, which is the exact price that this bundle is going to be selling for. And it's the base, 2 rims, and pedal set. So the problem is, it is priced in an incredible way, and they're marketing it well. So the problem is, a lot of people are going to buy it with it being the steal of the century, possibly. Or, I'm over-exaggerating. Steal of the year, let's say. And they're going to be like, I just got this great deal. But if/when it breaks down, how is that going to work out? I gave them a lot of tips. I told them that, hey, I want to see the electronics moved into a separate box, because that would allow for better reliability and better airflow. And they said they're considering it, so let's see if they follow through on that. And I'm just concerned, though. I am legitimately concerned about the wheel, because I think there are plenty of issues that need to be resolved. And the problem is also, at the same time, Fanatic, look at a comparable bundle, you're going to be looking at around $600, $700. Look at Thrustmaster, same thing. So it's like, I'm concerned. Well, I'm hoping it works out, because if it does, it's going to be great for the market. But I have more reason to be concerned than reason to be excited right now. And then we also have the Simplicity SW7C coming later this month, and I should be getting to test drive that. And what's nice is that is from a trusted brand. It's using a trusted motor. It's using, I think it's the Midge 7 or 60 ST or something like that. So it's using a Midge motor, which we can trust usually, and it's going to be about, I think, like $550 for that wheel. However, comparing it to Field VR, you don't get the bling, you don't get the rim, you don't get the pedals. So that's the thing. So I'm hoping things go well, but time will tell. So this car, it's a completely different feeling than that Ford. So the Ford, you definitely have the oversteer, or not oversteer, but you have understeer in the corners and then oversteer once the turbo kicks in. This is a lot more prone to oversteer. Field VR at release will be only for PC. They are working together with Creative Minds, which they make the Cronus Max Drive Hub, and they are going to be adding support for the consoles. They're going to be adding support for PS4 and Xbox One through that device, but that's going to be about like 6 to 7 months after the release, or supposed release, of the wheel. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, Slapnuts. That is a really good point, because the thing is, before this wheel, they were marketing an affordable motion rig. Where's that? I've never seen that on the market. So it's tricky. But yeah, for this car, be conservative. But yeah, apparently that motion rig was at Sim Racing Expo 2017, but apart from the Facebook page, you won't see anything about it. The wheels just completely overshadowed that other product. And it's kind of suspicious, though. You don't see the motion rig on the fieldvr.game website, so that's another concern. Did they discontinue the motion rig because the wheels generated so much hype? Uh-oh, it's random call sign. Careful, guys, we got a drifter here. Actually, a togayer. That was slideways. You could see trail braking causes a lot of oversteer with this car. We gotta be careful. Once Gamer Muscle gets in here, it's party over. But yeah, it's nice seeing that this has different physics set. You have to have a different mentality driving this car. I like that transmission whine a bit. Once you get used to this car, you can get a good idea of the handle on it. But still a very tricky car. So if you're looking for a challenge like classic cars, this is a good pack so far. Granted, we've only tested 2 cars. But trust me, if Gamer Muscle comes in here, he's gonna say, "Who's that idiot wearing the shark's cap?" That was not a British accent. But he'll call me an idiot for wearing a shark's cap, I guarantee it. I sounded Arab. Yikes. I suck at accents. I will be honest. James has gone to Tesco for Nord GT bags. The Lancia Monte Carlo. Which one is that? Because I don't recognize all the names. That's my trouble. But I'll take a look at the Lancia. Do you think the DRM mod has been worth how much it costs? I think so. It's kind of tricky though, because there's some things I don't like about it. I'll be honest. There's some things I preferred in the original rFactor 1. Lardo Monte. Some things I did prefer, but the feel of this feels good. I like the feel of the car, even though it is a major challenge. NJ, you should have come in about 10 minutes ago. I was just ranting about it. I'm more concerned than excited about it. There are just too many issues with it, in my opinion, to really justify, unless I saw them actively improving it. And I haven't seen that yet. They've told me they're considering my suggestions and ideas for improvements. I've heard them say they're considering it. Considering's one thing. Actually doing it is another. So that's my concern. Because they need to make it more reliable, because in my test, the wheel catastrophically failed. For the pedals, I heard 2 days ago, or 2 days later, after my test, they failed. So it's concerns like that. They need to improve their product. They need to improve it from that prototype phase and show us something that is relatively retail ready, or else we're gonna have a lot of problems. Sean, yeah, that's another big point, because realistically, with that VLVR, it will generate 12 Newton meters of torque, but I think most people are gonna tone it down to that 7 Newton meter mark. I think it's one of the sweet spots in the market, like 7, 8, 9 Newton meters. So that's the thing. And Simplicity is an established brand. That's the other thing. So I haven't tested a product from Simplicity yet. I should be getting an email from him in about 3 or 4 days about testing out the SW7C, which I'm personally excited about. I'm more excited about the SW7C than the Feel VR right now. That's what I'm saying. And Mark, thanks, man. Thank you for joining in. So, I think this is my favorite sounding car so far. I think this is. I can hear all these new subtle nuances in this car that I didn't really hear in some of the others. Very neutral handling. I think it's car in the front, or the engine are in the front, but yeah, engine sounds are my least favorite thing with this mod. Because the thing is, if you have rFactor 1, go and download DRM Revival. Download DRM Revival for rFactor 1. Drive those cars. And tell me that those sound worse than this. I don't think you can. The sounds in that original DRM Revival mod, I think, are miles better. And I think it's partly because the motor, or the engine used in rFactor is a little bit better. The engine used, or the sound engine in rFactor and ISI motor is a little bit better. Pure Mad, no, this is direct through the DRM Revival team. So it's the same team that made the mod for rFactor 1 back in 2011, 2012. So they're selling it through Race Department. But, yeah. Brakes so spongy? Yep, because they're from the 70s. That is the perfect answer. These, I mean, my first car was a 1971 Datsun 510. And, oh my gosh, those brakes were horrible. So yeah, imagine similar brakes to that on a race car. Eesh. My concern with this mod is it's that they are resting on the legacy of the original mod. That is my concern. Preston, for the Xbox One PC compatible, for that price range, I'd say the Fanatec CSL Elite PS4, and then you buy, like, there's that starter pack for $4.99, and then you get the third pedal for $129. So it's about $80–90 more than the Feel VR, but you get a wheel from a trusted brand. And then if you want to go Thrustmaster, there is the Thrustmaster TX or the T300 RS. But the reason I recommend the Fanatec PS4 is because, in theory, you could also get the CSL steering wheel P1, and you'd have a wheel compatible with all three platforms. Would I recommend Assetto Corsa for the PS4, maybe over Project Cars 2? I'm not sure. I've never actually played Assetto Corsa for the PS4. That is one of my concerns. And with that, I know Assetto Corsa for the PS4 has some issues. It also just doesn't lack, or it doesn't have as many features as the PC version. So there's that to consider. Project Cars 2 is a solid title. It is, but it depends on what you're looking for. I think it is a bit more of a well-rounded racing game on the Xbox, or on the Xbox or PS4. I think Project Cars 2 is a more well-rounded title with different disciplines, different driving stuff. So from the game standpoint, I'd say that Project Cars 2 is a little more feature-packed. But in terms of driving feel, if the PS4 version is similar to the PC version, I'd say go with that. So yeah, if the physics are similar to the PC version, then I'd say the driving feel for Project Cars 2 is superior. So that is the Lancia. I wish I knew more about this series so I could share with you the other names of other cars. So that's the Lancia. We did the Porsche and the Capri. Let's do the Beamer. This, I think it's the BMW 2002. So fun fact, my first car was the 1971 Datsun 510. And this was a competitor to the BMW 2002. So let's see, what track should we test it on? Let's try Zandvoort. I apologize if I mispronounced that. I thought that's how it's pronounced. So we'll load that up. Realistically, for racing titles, if you're looking for active online, PC is the way to go, unless you're doing Gran Turismo or Forza. But then those can be wreckfests in itself. So the question is, what are you looking for? What are you looking for out of your racing title? And whoa, okay. That's interesting. Look how off-center we are right now. Hold on, wrong button. Let's see if I can change that. Yeah, that's just about right. But that is just so freaking off-center. Burnout Online. I still need to get that because I loved Burnout Paradise. It would be fun to do like a throwback look, or like looking at the new one though. This is a track I personally struggle at though. Hey Blood Wolf, how's it going? So this sound samples sound kind of similar to what is used in some of the stock Assetto Corsa sounds. With it sounds like a supercharger, that turbo whine almost. But pretty certain it's not a supercharged car. I don't know though, but that transmission whine almost sounds like a supercharger. Yeah, if Race Room didn't have these cars, I'd say I'd recommend this a lot more, but Race Room has these cars and more, and I think they're more faithfully recreated. The sounds in those are astonishing. I mean, if you want a definition of eargasm, fire up Race Room, pull out the Zackspeed Capri, and just drive. This is a little more concerning in my opinion. Actually, this is one of the better sounding cars, I think, in this mod. But I think it's partly because they reused some assets from Assetto Corsa. I think. That's what it sounds like almost. Whoa. Yeah, and Astream, I'd say closest we have is like the F1 games. F1 games have decent career, and at least you have to drive somewhat like a sim. I won't say it has totally sim physics, because it doesn't. But I think it's a good part. But yeah, one of the worst elements of AC is sounds. I will wholeheartedly agree on that. And I think it's a limitation of the engine, because F-Mod is used in Assetto Corsa, and it's interesting because look at rFactor 2, look at Automobilista, look at Race Room. Those engines, you can at least see potential in the sounds, but in Assetto Corsa, it just seems off in my opinion. Zandvoort's a tricky track. I've never fully gone the handle on it yet. Whoa! Oh! Just felt that run up my arm. But this is one of my favorite sounding cars in the mod so far. RSS has done a good thing. Like, yeah, looking at their mods, looking at what they've done, they do a good job. But it's just, yeah. Mark, do you mean that in a good way or a bad way? Because I found a lot of the sounds in Project Cars 2 is a little lackluster, in my opinion. But I like the feeling of this car. Kind of neutral, maybe a little over, or not over, inclined to understeer, but it has a good feel to it. I'd say this might be the safest car. One of the ones that are a little easier to learn. AMS has some great sounds, and I think it's because that ISI motor, it has the potential for such great sounds. That engine has potential for sounds, because some of the mods in Project Cars 2 also sound incredible. But it just seems like in Assetto Corsa, some of those cars just have the magic missing. I'll call it that. So in a minute, we'll switch to the next car. Pure Mad, yep, I'm gonna switch to the next car in a minute. But, oh man, this is intense. So let's take a look. Which game has the best sounding AMG GT3? I think Race Room has it, if I remember correctly. But rFactor 2 also has an AMG GT3 that sounds good. Teddy, I have driven the RSS Formula Hybrid. Fun car. Especially when you drive the configuration without the halo. So, for cars, there's the Karma 308. I don't know what car this is. Which one is this? What is... if anyone can help me point it out, anyone who is knowledgeable about this car, I don't think it's a Porsche. Or is it? Is it a Porsche with a body kit? Or a Ferrari? Is it a Ferrari? Okay. So we can try that in a little bit. We did the Lardo. That's what we just finished. Which is the Lancia. We have the Maraude Aero, which is the Ford Zackspeed Capri. And then Maraude Scream. Is that another Ford? Yeah, it's another Ford. So there are two different Fords in this mod. So this Scream and Aero. I wonder if this is the louder version. Then the Puriano, which is the Porsche. So this is Karma and Puriano. Great news, guys! It's the Dacia Sandero. RMT is BMW. And then this Yamamoto Delicata. Or here's the BMW M1 too. So this Delicato. Is this the Chevy Monza? Or is this the Decon Monza? Or is this Nissan? Oh, yeah, this would be Nissan Yamamoto. So this would be the Nissan R300ZX. Okay. There's a mod to change the names to their proper ones. I might take a look at that later on, but let's try out this Karma. I'm curious about it. Let's look at some of the liveries. I think this is Ferrari, because these are typical Ferrari liveries, I think. And then, let's see. Let's test it at Monza. I think that's fitting. Is it a Celica? Okay. Or hold on. Let me check something. DRM Racing Series. Googling it real quick. So DRM stands for Deutsche Rennsport Meisterkraft. I apologize if I mispronounced that. So Group 5 cars. Yamamoto's Celica, okay. Hold on. So this could be the Ferrari 512, I think. Because that was actually erased. Or 312, but yeah, I think this is a Ferrari. Yeah, Dome Celica Turbo or Toyota Celica Turbo. So yeah, Yamamoto's the Celica, I believe. Crayfish, go ahead and try to post a link. If it blocks it, I'll try to accept it. I think live streams, they tend... Meisterschaft. Okay. Whoop. Hey, Jack. Thanks, man. Yeah, sorry, Crayfish. I don't even see it pop up in my feed. So, I don't think there's anything I can do for getting that link. Actually, Full House, no it wasn't. This was a hat I got a while back, but I did get it signed. So if you look here, that's signed by player Joel Ward. On the bottom here, that's Jonas Donskoy, number 27. He's freaking beast. And then other various signatures on the hat. And then I'm going to another game next Wednesday, which I'm excited for. Hey, AI random call sign. What? Like cricket? Okay, you can put it on the Discord. That's fine. Karma's Ferrari 308 with twin turbos. Thank you. Not Handbrake. Well, fun fact, my cousin, or actually two of my cousins, they play soccer, so yeah. Sharks versus ducks. Duck hunt. Did someone watch GT3 race last weekend? I did not. Yeah, European football is where they decide to fake injuries. Fun fact, my hometown used to be the site of the World Arm Wrestling Championships. So that's a cool fun fact. Now we have the world's ugliest dog competition. Go figure. But yeah, we used to be where the World Wrist Wrestling, they called it, championships were. And now every time at our county fair, like National Geographic comes, Animal Planet comes. But yeah, Petaluma, my hometown. I mean, I still call it my town because I'm like 2 miles from city limits, so yeah. I'm liking the feel of this car. I just realized I haven't talked really about anything negative. I mean, sure, the sounds aren't the best, but I like the feel of this car. Let's max out that boost though. But okay, here's another fun fact, guys. So, if you are car guys, have you ever seen the movie American Graffiti? It was one of George Lucas's first movies, also one of Harrison Ford's first movies as well. That was also filmed in my home town. So, for example, there was a scene where Harrison Ford drag races another guy, and he completely totals the car. So he totals the car, and that is over about maybe 7-8 miles from where I live. So yeah, there's that. Driving the strip, that's downtown in my town, and a lot of those buildings are still there. Fun fact. Also, my town is hometown to what is the world's largest museum or personal collection of Star Wars memorabilia. So that's pretty cool. But I think American Graffiti would have been a lot more popular if it did not come out at around the same time as Grease. If it didn't come out like the same time as Grease, I think American Graffiti would have been a lot more popular. Hometown, Petaluma, California. It's about half hour north of San Francisco. Sim enthusiasts, you might not want to brag about that. This car's a lot of fun. You can start getting it to step out a bit. Catch that slide. Okay, I think this is my favorite car so far, to be honest. Feels a lot of fun. Pretty challenging. Ram call sign, is that like London or something? I might do a race. We'll find out in a few minutes. Dog surfing championship. That sounds like fun. Then I see a Golden State Warriors symbol on your logo. Nice. So let's take a look and see what we can do. Don't you dare say the Lancia isn't the best. Whoops. Let's see. DRM Revival. So we have a couple cars left, I think. We have that Celica and the BMW M1. And then we'll do a short race. How about that? So I'm going to take this back to Laguna, I think. Celica at Laguna. Reliant, Robin, and Rainbow Road. Gary, it's NHL playoff time. So it's my playoff beard. Just shave and start growing again. I know I look young. That's an interesting sound. I'm not a fan of this sound. I'm not a fan of these sounds. This is... okay. This might be the worst sounding car of the entire bunch. Sounds in this are almost painful. Just sounds very digitized. Very digitized sound. Doesn't seem the best mixed. I'm trying to go open-minded and think about it. But it sounds Gran Turismo-esque. At the very, very, very top end, it sounds okay. But everything else just doesn't sound that great. Because in the mid-end, very garbled, very digitized. There are options to change the sound effects, but I'm not sure. So, audio, let's see. Let's try to configure this a bit. This is painful sounding, but it's okay to drive, but this desperately needs a sound mod or something. This has the blow-off valve at least, but it's like... But yeah, like Full House, I was talking about it before, it's the sound mixing. So when it sounds like it has two noises trying to be the engine, it's like the sound mixing is not mixed properly. So this is like, Whoa, Nelly. Okay, I can't take it anymore. That would give me a headache. So, we got the BMW M1 next. So, RMT 1N instead of M1. Decent liveries, a bit. The knockoff Marlboro. So, let's try Imola. And then we'll set up a short race. I don't know if I can set online, though. Van Halen or Led Zeppelin? Personally, I think I've preferred Led Zeppelin growing up. I think I've preferred Led Zeppelin myself. Whoa, that's understeery. We're going to set boost to 100. So let's hear the sounds here. You can hear a little bit. That has a violent wastegate there. It sounds close, but this is significantly better. Let's try something. No turbo here. Doesn't sound horrible. Doesn't sound great. Miles better than that Celica. My nickname for that's gonna be What the Helica? This might be one of the more challenging cars to drive, though. Guys, you can just see it. Understeer galore. Yet that turbo lag is no joke. Oh my. Brake, brake, lock up, lock up. The brakes, they just don't work in this thing. So brake here. Yeah, these brakes are painful. Take laps. Now it's starting to work a little better, I think. Need to turn off force feedback strength a bit, though. Just another car guy. Thank you for following. Thank you. A little too weak there. That should be all right. After a while, that wastegate sounds a little weird. This is a very unstable car. There we go. Yeah, the brakes do have quite a bit of heat in them now. I can feel this lap it's an improvement. I have not raced online with AI yet, Dather. We'll see how it goes. Because I'm going to do a race with the AI after this. And on the green stuff. Ow. Okay, so let's back out of this. And let's pick out a car to drive for the race. So DRM Revival. Let's go with the Lancia. Because that sounds like one of your guys' personal favorites. And set to race. Quick race. Yes. I usually do about 95, 94 strength for me. Should be all right. Modify the AI. Clear all. Boom, boom, boom. Actually, like, clear all. We'll do the 308. Actually, no, we do 1, I think. They need to make this a little more accessible, in my opinion. Because you see 1 and 2, you don't know what that means. Okay, Ramcall-san, you have a good one, man. So we'll do that. So we got the car set up. And we'll do a 10-lap race. Or no, it'll let us do 11 lap. I wish there was like, you could enter in the text for lap. Yeah, I know there's like the content manager, so I might go back to that soon, but I keep on bumping into issues with it, unfortunately. Okay, wish me luck, guys. It's going to be intense. And then after this race, I'm calling it. And yeah, so exciting stuff. I am enjoying this, but $20 might be a little steep for it. I understand they put a lot of effort into it, and it's been years in development, but it kind of feels cobbled together. Some of the cars don't sound good. Thank you, Oliver, for subscribing. But yeah, some of the things on this just feel off. And knowing that the original rFactor mod like was awesome makes me feel a little disappointed by this. "100% boost." Looks like they got bunched at the start. Cold brakes, so brake early. Wow, that backfire. That backfire is not good. That backfire looked like crap. Just looks like shooting flame for like 8 seconds. Or more like 4 seconds. We'll see next corner how long it is. One needs to be 2, needs to be 3, needs to be 4. 4 seconds. 4 seconds of backfire there. And they're getting backed up, coming up to the corkscrew. So we passed half the field in one lap. Oh. Impact. My bad. I'll take blame for that. Hold on. I want to change something real quick. Not that. There we go. Move the chat there. So lost a couple spots there because of that. I mean, the flames looked okay in rFactor 1 version, but this... Oh, pfft. We're getting murdered here. Hey, Lopata, I'm doing pretty well. How about yourself? Hold on, let's change some settings on this. I'm just going to change some settings real quick. I saw how well the Field VR did, and yeah, let's hope that they actually utilize it. Let's hope they utilize it to actually bring a solid product. Because that's what we need. We need a good product from them. If they don't, I'm going to be mad. I want to say they raised like $15,000 in the first couple days, Sim Enthusiast. Okay, here we go. Wow, okay. That's one way to do a start. I turned the difficulty down to 88%. Yeah, because it was a janky test drive. It was janky. I wasn't going to sugarcoat it. I wasn't going to sugarcoat my thoughts on the wheel. Okay. I think I will get the final product. Or hold on, we need a restart session. But yeah, I think I will get the final product. It just is a matter of time. AI is insane here. But yeah, as mentioned, I'm more excited for the simplicity than the Field VR. So, question. It seems like these cars stop a lot better than me. So, are they not starting with cold brakes or something? That's what I'm wondering. Well, there's some smoke there. They're locking up, running wide. Trying to make the move on this guy. The thing with simplicity, though, is you're going to end up investing more money into it. That's the thing. I think the simplicity is going to be the superior product, but on the flip side, you need to invest more because simplicity, it doesn't come with a rim. It doesn't come with pedals. So keep that in mind. So you'd have to buy your own separate pedal set from simplicity and find a way to mount a wheel to the setup. And if you want buttons, that'll cost extra. But I think simplicity is going to be the more reliable product. It's a more trusted brand, and exactly that's my thought on it. Whoa! That was smart of me. Getting more for paying more. Yes. Ya VR does not ring a bell. Lopata, yes, I am talking about the new 7 Nm motor. This car has an interesting feel, and I don't know if it's just slower than the rest. But yeah, that's a Zackspeed Capri behind me and a Porsche behind me. Or is that the Ferrari? It might be the Ferrari. I've never driven in an ozone, unfortunately, so I can't really speak for that. I like my Pro cockpit, but I think for some higher end pedals, it might be a little concerning. There's a little bit of flex front to back on pedals. So if you're pressing on the brake hard, you'll feel a little bit of flex. That's going to be a hat with most cockpits, though. So I don't know about how the ozone is, though, but I've heard also the ozone isn't the best ergonomically. It doesn't feel the best, so that's another thing. Oh, some people are retiring. Okay. Whoa, lock up, lock up. I got hit. Well, Fanatics said the first generation direct drive wheel likely will not support the PS4. Keep that in mind. Fanatics direct drive wheel likely will not support the PS4. My arms are legitimately sore right now. The force feedback in this is very strong with this car. But yeah, we're lap 4 and it really does start feeling like it's coming into its own. Little lock up there. Get this slipstream. Little bump and run. Little bump and run never hurt anybody. Yeah, sometimes you can find great deals on sim racing cockpits on secondhand websites like Craigslist because people don't want to tear it down, so they're like, hey, if you want, you can pick it up. Try to get the run up. Oh man, feeling that car step out is so freaky. I need to try this in VR sometime. Just feel the car step out on the edge of control. That's one of the nice things about these cars. You have to push, but also at the same time, it's dangerous. Up to 8th. We're almost halfway through the race. Look in the brand. So for looking secondhand, type in Sim Racing, type in Fanatic, type in Thrustmaster, type in the brands, type in R-Seat, Obutto. Try to think like a seller. What would you type in if you were selling the cockpit? And enter things like those phrases in. It's different strokes. Sometimes you can find them, sometimes you can't. Sim Racing Rig, I've had mixed luck because sometimes people won't type in Sim Racing in the description. They'll just say Obutto Revolution or Playseat. For the record, I don't recommend buying from Playseat. But I'd say that looking, you have to just search around. Sometimes it can be tricky. Maybe type in Gran Turismo Forza because sometimes people in the description, they'll say, use this to play Gran Turismo or Forza. Whoops. Little contact there. Little dusty. I guess that's one way to make a pass. I've heard of the pass in the grass, but that was the move in the sand? I agree with a stream. Don't go top of the line yet. There's just too much going on, too much price fluctuation. You do get better grip after several laps. It seems like these tires take a while to heat up, and especially the brakes. Andy, I know this is random, but what stuff did you get with the SImRacingPaddock? Like, what accessories did you get with it? Because I'm curious about trying out the SImRacingPaddock and maybe doing a video about it. So, would you ever be interested in maybe working together on a video since you're relatively local? Alright, well, if you can, shoot me an email, William@SimRacingPaddock.com. I'd be interested in talking about that with you. Whoa! Whoa! Getting distracted, but we're in the top 5 now. So I don't know if it's the AI falling off or something. Whoa! That is not going to help us. Block the track. But man, that backfire, I'm not a fan of that look. Whoa, okay, he was very hard on the brakes. So almost made a pass on the outside in the corkscrew. That was weird. Okay, that is interesting modeling detail. Look at the exhaust pipes. The exhaust pipes on the right are larger and higher up than on the left. That is an interesting touch there. So I don't know if it's the same as in the real car, but if it is, that is nice detail in the modeling. Two laps, or 3 laps. But now that Ferrari's just starting to pull away. That's kind of remarkable, though. So now we're 10 laps into, or 9 laps into this race, and that not Ferrari is posting race best laps, or a race best lap. Look, he's purpling those sectors. That's just kind of crazy. Because that could be a session best lap there. Yeah, that's feeling good now. Oh my gosh, this force feedback's so flippin' strong. Most seats use a universal rail system. Most seats, not all. This car is so challenging. And what I mean by using a universal rail system is they can mount onto a rail that uses a universal system. I'm not saying like it comes with it, I'm saying is compatible. Dang it, little wide. Whoa, 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 whoa. Well, that sucks. Just couldn't get the handle there. Hold on. Oh, my arms are so flippin' sore right now. I think I might have forced feedback a little high. Thank you, Stream, for subscribing. Thank you very much. And now to rest. But, so, closing thoughts. Let's share some closing thoughts. So, let's go to replay. How about? And we'll turn down the sound a bit. So, closing thoughts on this. It's good. It's a good mod. The cars behave differently, which you'd expect. They're fun to drive. Sounds are definitely one of the weakest spots, though. Sounds are definitely one of the more painful elements of this mod. And it's a shame, because the sounds in the rFactor 1 version were some of the best. And it sounds like that this, like the external sounds sound pretty good. So those are nice, but it just seems a little too digitized. It seems a little lackluster, especially coming from the original rFactor mod, which is a little upsetting. And my thoughts on the matter is this could have been a lot better. I think it's kind of resting on the legacy of the original DRM mod, which was one of the best for rFactor. But it seems like this is doing a little bit too little. But if you're into classic cars, this is a fun pack, and for what you get, 20 is acceptable for supporting them, but at the same time, I feel like 20 might be a little too much. I'd say maybe like 10, 15. If it was 10, I'd say no-brainer, buy it right now. But for 20, it's getting a little nervous. So, yeah, I'm having fun with this, and I'll try fine-tuning it later, doing more with it, but I wish they brought out a little more. I wish they did more with it. But it is a fun mod. I'll say that. I just wish it was a little better. But those are just my closing thoughts. And yeah, if you enjoy it, you enjoy it. And yeah, so should be a fun mod bringing some great content to Assetto Corsa. And thank you, Case Bringer, for subscribing. But for now, guys, I am gonna sign off, and I might work on some videos tonight. But for now, you guys have a great rest of your day, and thanks for watching.